Recording in progress.
Yep. Good morning, everyone. So, wait, so wait. Lights. Huh. Yep. So, last session we learned about routing, and have you tried that example? I uploaded the files, zip folder I uploaded. In that zip folder, we have those files. So once check the code, I uploaded that. So you need to try that routing example. Now, so we discussed about how to deal with routes and route parameters, how to handle the routes and route parameter. So in example, we designed a simple navigation. So we are starting with some index and all this. So let me start this. So route parameters, generally they allow to transport the data from one route to another. We can transport the data by using route parameter. So how to define the parameters and access the parameters we learned. For that we need a hook called use params. So that is the hook. Now today we will see one more. That is how we can use nested routes. Nested routes, or we can say child routes. How we can define the child routes. So nested or child routes. Usually nested child routes we use in different occasions, different module systems. For example, suppose, so we are designing one application. So we have some shopping portal. We have some shopping app, some shopping portal. In this shopping portal, so we have two types of users. That means when anybody opens shopping portal, it will give two services. For example, customer and some vendor. customer who buys and vendor who supplies, right? So for both of them, different screens, different modules are present. That means for what customer we are having, customer can log in, customer can register, customer can log in, and the customer can browse products, so can buy products. So these are the customer related modules. Similarly, vendor have separate modules. Vendor can register, vendor can log in, vendor can add products, he can add the products. So he can generate some invoice, something like this, something like this. That means now the point is from the main screen, we have two navigations, major navigations, one customer, another vendor. Again, when vendor logins in his vendor, again register, login, add products, such options we will give. That means inside vendor, again navigation. Inside customer, again navigation. That you can define as child routes. We can configure as child routes. So there are so many techniques. What is the simple approach of designing child routes? We will see. So how to define the child routes? How to configure the child routes? Actual first point, to configure the child routes, we can define. So here, a module in application can have routes within the context. A module in application can have routes within the context. Navigation to module is the parent route, and navigation within the module is defined using child routes. Defined using child routes. Navigation within the module is defined using child routes. Navigation to module. So syntactically, we have route path. Here we have a parent. And element, it refers to parent element, parent component. So that is the parent component. Now we don't end this here. Inside that we have again route path. This is child element. This is child component, child one component. If we want, we can have a route inside that also. So now we have child 2 component. Like this, we can have multiple. So here, the relative and absolute paths are important. How you define relative path, how you define absolute path is important. So one more concept while working with child routes, we'll see that point. For example, let's design the child route with the concept we designed. So here we can navigate to categories. We can get the categories list. From categories, we can navigate to jewelry. Actually, jewelry, it is displaying the products. That means the component it is rendering is products. It is rendering products component. So in the products component, it is showing some jewelry. Now, when I click from products, it is navigating out and it is getting the details. But it should not navigate out. What we want is when user selects the products, uh, these products details should display here itself. In the same screen, it should display. Let's go to the products page. We will go to the products component. Here, let me change the design a little bit. So what we do, here we create the design. Flex column. I'm giving in a column wise and just 50 width and 50 height. That means all the products information will be like this. Just roughly I added like this. And what we will do here is, this is the price we are having. And class deflex. Okay. So like this, we are defining just, I will give some style. Style width as some 150 pixel. Just I am keeping that short. 100 pixel, I think looks fine. Enough. Okay, 150 pixel is okay. And here, and I am adding to some gap vertically, we are adding some gap. Now, what is this? Is the products related detail here. Now, when user clicks on any product, then actually what it is doing, it is navigating to the details. But it should display the details here itself. That means in the same products path, I want another path to work. Then usually what we do is here, we will go to the products and this products is details. It is displaying in one column. I will class set a row. These all details are in one column. I will keep this in a div. And this have a class called some 2. And another div class as call some 10. Because 10 columns we are dividing like this. Okay, now here the heading, I'll just keep this as heading 5. Okay, just let it be small. Now what we need is when user clicks on this, it should open right side. So we will go to the index where we have the routes. These details should render inside these products. It should render inside the products. So we will remove the details. And what we will do is inside the product, this is the route. We will end the route. And inside the route, we will define the child route. We will define the child route. That means now what will happen inside the products? Details will be accessed. But the problem is, okay, in the products, details will be accessed. Where you will display that details in products? Where to access a child route and display it in the parent. Actually, this is the parent. In the parent, where you want to show the child? Somewhere right side here. This is called as outlet. That means outlet indicates where to render the child. You are accessing the child. Where to render? If you remembered, if you learned HTML, in HTML you learned iframes. What is the concept of iframe? In a page, you can put an iframe. You can bring existing content and display inside iframe. Along with the existing content, you can load the new content and show in iframe. So that same like iframe, here the outlet. What is this outlet? Outlet indicates where to return the child. Because you are accessing child inside parent, then inside parent where you have to tell. That means now for details, you need an outlet. So we will go to products. In the products, the outlet should be in the right side column. So here what we will do, here we will keep an outlet. That outlet is defined like this. Outlet indicates where to display the child. Actually, if there is no outlet, now when user clicks on details, then see it goes to details and not found. So why? Because remember, it is using absolute route. How to make it relative route? Because it is a child route. Now, how to make it as go to products? Where is the link? It is a link. This link is navigating to details. Remove that slash. If you remove the slash, it will become a relative path. Otherwise, it is an absolute path. Okay. Now I click on this, then you see it goes to the details. But where to show details, there is no details displaying. So that is decided by whom? So by outlet. So what we need to do here, we get as what? Outlet. We need an outlet here. This outlet also belongs to the same React router DOM. And once you define the outlet, then you can see the details will come here. Will come here. Actually, now I don't need this back to products. So just when I click on this, then the detail should come here. Click on this, the detail should come here. Right? That means we are accessing the detail and displaying in the same. But here one problem is that when you select details, which component is mounting? When you select details, Which component is mounting? Details component is mounting. How many times a component mount? Only once. Okay, I select the second one. Next product. I am selecting the next one. Details of 7, but it is not loading. You see, I selected some 8. Details of 8. You see, URL is changing, route parameter is changing, but product is not changing. Why? Because the component is mounting only once. Okay, now tell me when to mount again. So what we have to do? Go to details component. This details component is having a mount phase defined by using what? Use effect. So it is mounting only once. Now tell me when it should mount again. That you mentioned in dependency. So here in dependency, what is the dependency? What is the dependency? So when it should mount again? Whenever the parameter changes. Parameter changes now. Whenever user clicks details, the new parameter is passed. Whenever new parameter is passed, that means URL parameter changed. The mount should happen again. That means who is that parameter? In details, the parameter is ID. ID is the parameter. It is array. Why it is array? Because you can have multiple parameters. If I want on price change mount again or ID change mount again, you can write both. You want only one. Whenever ID changes, we want to mount again. So here, who is the dependency? Route parameter. But there is no route parameter mentioned here. It is there, params. So here, how to access that params? We have to access what? Params. Params dot, what is the parameter? ID. ID, na? That is the parameter. That means whenever ID changes, then the mount should happen again. Okay, let's see. Now we will go back here, back to products, back to categories. First, I'm selecting some men's clothing. It will get and display here. So I'm selecting here back to categories, some women's clothing or jewelry or something. So when I select, the details will come and I select first product. The first product will come. I select second product, then the second product should come. That means it should display. So whenever I am choosing that product, that means the product will come. Why? Because whenever the parameter changes, then it will mount again. It is going to mount again. In this case, I don't need this back to products anymore. If you want, you can, but it is not required now. Why? Because already we are selecting here. So I don't want that. Then in details, I will remove this one in the footer. Or here you can put another, you can remove this now. The footer is not required. And if you want in the footer, I will keep a text area. In the text area, rows is equal to some, rows equal to some 4. Calls is equal to some 40 or 30, something like this. And text area will have a value. Value is nothing but product dot description. That means product have a description. I want to display the description below. Right. So I will just keep this calls removed. Only rows I am giving, it will fit into it. That is the product description, and that description I will keep as read only. We'll keep read only, then it will not allow to, or we will simply keep disabled. Disabled means it will not allow to modify, just it will allow to read. And whenever you select a product, the product details will display there. That means, so it is going to get that and show that here. So we are using back to categories. It will get back to the categories. I am selecting any product. So I select a product category and I am selecting any product, that product detail will come. This is the combination of what? Nested routes. We can have another route inside. What we can do, suppose I don't want description here. What we will do below, we will put more button. And generally what we do, we will put only name and photo and price. If we want rating and description, then we will put more. When users select more, so another one should come here. That means it should get another one here. It should get here. That means inside the details, another. Inside the details itself, another route we can have. And when user clicks, it should get the details description about that. We can add another route also. How? We will go to the index. In the index, inside this route, we can add another route. There again, we can pass the ID, collect that product and display its description, rating. Like you can create any levels of routes. There is nothing like how many levels like this we can design. Any number of levels we can create. Later, we will design one simple project. There we will implement this functionality with some other concept. This is just to understand how to configure a child route. And here, what is the key point when you define the child route? So child route requires outlet to render its content into existing route. To render its content into existing route. So outlet defines the target location where resulting markup is rendered. Outlet defines the target location where resulting markup is rendered. Now, in interviews, one question is, can we have multiple outlets in a component? Why this question comes? Because earlier they don't support multiple outlets and some technologies still don't support. Multiple outlets are not supported. Actually, I told you routing is not only for React. So front end, back end technologies both use routing. So everyone knows about routing in web designing. So outlet also same. Everywhere they have outlets, child routes, everything similar. Even route parameters also similar. Means how a technology passes route parameters. They are same across various technologies. But some limitations are there. So one of the problem is some technologies will not allow multiple outlets. That's the reason people who are aware of multiple technologies and experience, then sometimes In one technology, what works, they know that in another technology, it will not. So that is the reason these kind of questions are common. So multiple outlets means here the point is, can I use these details where products? Yeah, this is outlet. Can I use one more outlet here? That means here, can I use one more outlet here? Actually, you can. That means you see two outlets I am giving, then two times it will be rendered. So this is possible because you may ask like, why two times I have to render? Of course, sometimes you logged in. When you logged in, your profile name will be displayed right side top corner. Sometimes in some websites at bottom also. You scroll up and down. Then you will be scrolling lot of content. When you reach bottom, there also your profile must be there. At the top also profile must be there. In between somewhere it should be there. That means same content should be rendered several places. That means, is it possible to have multiple outlets? Yes. Because many times we render in many places. Because if you see shopping sites, you added some items into a shopping cart. The cart will be shown in different places. That means you go to one place, cart will be there. In another place, cart will be there. From any place you can access, right? So that is the point. So can we have multiple outlets? Yes, we can have multiple outlets. So if anyone asks a question like, can we define multiple outlets for a component in parent? Yes, it is possible. Right. So here we need one more point here. Generally, how to define this example I will give. Already previous files I uploaded. In that, two changes we are doing. One is, what is the changes? You have to change the index. Index have some changes. Fake store index.jsx. In that, I changed this. That means here we are adding the child routes, right? And one more is there. One more is fake store details.jsx. In fake store details, we need to change. This is fake store details. We need to change that. That is the fake store details we are having. So in details, one more option is there. So here, one note is child routes mount a component only once. You have to configure the dependency to mount again. Usually the route parameter will be the dependency for child route. Usually the route parameter will be the dependency for child routes. So use effect. Here we have perhaps dot id something. So we need to know about how to configure the basic routes, how to configure route parameters, and how to configure child routes. And now the dependencies are working. That means whenever parameter changes, it should mount again. Otherwise, it will mount only on first request. Okay, now in the route, one more important question asked is how to handle dynamic navigation. So another important question is how we navigate dynamically in JavaScript and in HTML. In HTML, you navigate using a link. In JavaScript, how do you navigate dynamically? By using location href. You know JavaScript have a location object, location have an href. The location href allows to navigate dynamically. Dynamically, you can navigate using location href. Dynamic navigation means what? So user entered some user ID password. If it is wrong, then it will navigate to some error page. If it is correct, it will navigate to the success page. That means it will decide where to navigate. Dynamically navigation. How to handle dynamic navigation? How we manage dynamic navigation, and we will see how we can authenticate the routes. Dynamic navigation on button click or any place. So here, so dynamic navigation. Dynamic navigation. So what is dynamic navigation is application uses a static navigation technique which is implemented using link in routing. Using link in routing. So what is the link point is? Link is configured with a path and always uses the same path. It will not change, it will be same path every time. So dynamic navigation allows to change path according to state and the situation. According to state and situation. Dynamic navigation allows to change path according to state and situation. Actually, earlier we have to follow this by using different techniques. Um, Previous version of routing, they used to use a concept called use history. Use history allows to handle that. After that, they changed it to a concept called use location. Use location, which uses actually JavaScript location object. But now recently, they recommend to use a hook called use navigate. Use navigate. So when you are watching different tutorials, online websites, YouTube and all, they confuse little bit because one person will be using use navigate, another is use location, another is use history. All will work, but the modern route, which is 6 and higher version, router dome, it have means it has made the previous technique obsolete. Obsolete. Obsolete means no longer in use. And the new technique they recommend is use navigate. Use navigate is used for navigation, dynamic navigation. That means so React router DOM v6 recommends to recommends use navigate hook to configure dynamic navigation. So syntactically, navigate is equal to use navigate. This navigate can navigate to the route path. It can navigate to the route path. Right. So that is dynamic navigation. First, I will show you here. Suppose what I am doing is I am having some details pages present. So anywhere, when I click on, we will put a button in the details. Here I will keep a button. So back to home, not a link. It is a button. I am adding a button back to home. So we will put a class bi clock history. Yep. So, so here, what is another concept is how we can manage route path. So this button we will keep as BTN. Just BTN is okay. Now this is a back button. So is there any BI back? So clock. Okay, just a back button is there. So house. Yeah. This button have to navigate us to the home. Home page means it should navigate us to which one? It should navigate us to this screen. It should navigate us to this screen. So generally categories, for that we already have a path. In the index, we have a path called home. It should navigate to that location. So now here in details, this is not a link. This is a button. On button click, we need to navigate. Later, we will put a logic. Logic like is user ID matching? If matching, navigate. So on button click, how we can handle? So on button click, how to handle here is, so we will write on click. Handle home click. Okay. So let's write a function here. So function is handle home click. On home click, we should navigate to the home page. That means what we need to do, categories, some category, detail, and when I click home, it should go to home. So on home click, we will put a navigation dynamically. How to create such navigation dynamically? First, you have to import navigate is equal to use navigate is the hook. Use navigate is the hook. And by using that, now we can access the navigate reference. And this can navigate to path. So navigate to where? Just simply path slash home. Not just home, because it will be relative path. Slash home will be absolute path. So now when I click on this home, it should navigate to home. This is dynamic navigation. So dynamic navigation, actually we haven't implemented complete. So we just added a navigation on button click. On button click, you can have some logic. If user is already logged in, then log in. Otherwise, ask him to register, login. So much logics we can implement. Let's see how to do that. This is just to understand how we handle the navigation. We have to put navigate and we need to set the path. Remember, the path can contain, if necessary, navigate the route path means including parameters also. If it is the path is expecting parameter, we can directly pass the parameter also. So how this navigate works? Actually, earlier there are different techniques, but 18x version recommends to use navigate. So let's see how we can authenticate the route. Actually, some technologies have a separate library for route authentications. Separate library for route authentication. Route authentication means, so what is the concept? Simple. Route authentication is, I go to some home. Okay. What is the authentication is, this categories should open only to the people who logged in. That means categories are given, but categories will open only when user is logged in. If user is not logged in, when I click on categories, it should ask me, please log in. Once user logs in, then it can get me the categories and show. It should not show the categories. So the categories component should load only when user successfully logs in. And for login, what we will do here, we will put a link. That means user clicks on that, a login screen will come. He will enter user ID, password. Later, we will verify with database and all. Temporarily, we will verify some standard user and password. And if it is matching, then navigate to the categories, right? So we need to implement this. Generally, this is route authentications. How you will know whether user logged in or not? So if user is already logged in, it will go to categories. If not logged in, it will go to login. We already learned cookies. We learned already cookies. We are using cookies. We can implement the cookies functionality here. So what is the logic? We will create one fake store. This is a customer login.jsx. So export, so function customer login.jsx. This is customer login and it will return. Just we will create a simple login screen. So heading like customer login. So data list, data term, user ID, data definition, input type is text. Okay, so we have a password and data definition input type is equal to password. And we have a button and the button is what? Login. That means here we are using BTN and BTN what? Primary. Okay, now we need a route path for this login also. Then we will go to index and here we will add a route. And what is the route path? Route path is login. Which element it should get? Customer login element it should get and display. That means we have a path for login, right? It should display. Okay. Now, for this login, when that login should come in the index itself. So this person is having a link. And what this link have to do? Link to which one? Login. Slash what? Login. It should navigate to the login. That means when user clicks on that link, I'll just give a appearance of class name BTN. And it will have a button like appearance BTN light. And it will have a login button like appearance. I'm just giving that appearance. Actually, for links, what you can give. So link light. Link light is nothing but it will same link. It will be same, not button like appearance. Link colors we can change using Bootstrap, right? Now when user clicks on it, it should get me to the login. It should get me to the login. And important now, so here, this also I can give. The categories should be clickable. That means what we can do, link. It should link what? It should link to what? Slash categories. That means I can select the categories from top also, I can choose. So we will put a class name as link light. That means it is a clickable one. And when I click on this, it will get me the categories, but it should not. When anyone tries, and home should be home. All are clickable now, right? That means this is also a link, and this should link to where /home. And you can just give slash also, because that is also leading to home, and the class name link light. Okay, so that is home also available. Now it will go to home, it will go to the categories. But whenever categories open, anybody tries to open categories, it should verify whether user logged in or not. If user logged in, then it should navigate. It should navigate to categories. Otherwise, it should navigate to login. So let's go to the categories page. So let's go to the categories, fake store categories. Here, when user loads this, that means this is the mount phase. In the mount phase, I need to verify whether he logged in or not. How to verify whether user logged in or not? We will verify whether the cookie defined or not. We learned React cookies. React cookies, how to create a cookie, how to delete a cookie, how to verify the cookie. React cookie, is it returning undefined or null? If cookie not found, what it is returning? I told you na, some libraries return undefined, some libraries return null, some libraries return string empty. Currently React cookie is returning what? Undefined as value. So what we will do is, here we will write a logic. What is the logic? First we need cookies na. Already make sure that in index cookie provider is there. Already we implemented that cookie provider. Now in the categories, how to access cookies? Constant cookies, set cookie, and remove cookie is equal to use cookies. Use cookies is cookie name. Array na, in array cookie name. Cookie name is what? User ID. User ID is the cookie name. So we will write a condition. If cookies of cookie name. So cookies of cookie name. What is the cookie name? User ID. If user ID is defined, is user ID defined, then display this data. If not defined, if defined, display the data. If not defined, navigate. Automatically navigate. How to dynamically navigate? That means we need to create let what? Navigate is equal to use navigate. So it should navigate. It should navigate to which page? /login. It should navigate to login, because he not logged in, then it should navigate to login. That means if anybody tries to open the categories, you see, I have home. I am trying to go to categories, then it is going to login. From anywhere, from the top, I clicked on categories, then it will get me login. So that means it will not allow to see the categories. So until or unless you log in. That means you are authenticating, you are authorizing. Now we need an authentication. We have two options, authorization and authentication. What is authorization? Authorization is restricting access to resources. We have resources, we don't allow to access. That is called as authorization. Authentication means verifying the credentials. checking whether the name, ID, password, OTP are correct or not. That is authentication. After authentication successful, we will authorize him to access. That is the concept of implementing authentication authorization. There are so many techniques, but the globally used technique everywhere in the world is cookies. Any website, any application primarily depends on cookies. Cookies are the best way for authenticating. That means even Google like people, when you see, so I showed you already cookies. They say that please enable cookies. So now what should happen? User will enter user ID and he will enter password. Actually, later we will create database in that users will register. We will create a registration, login, complete process we will create in next level. So currently we will put some standard values to verify. If it is matching, it will automatically navigate to the categories. Otherwise, it will navigate to some error page and ask us to try again. So we will add one more component here. So this is fake store error dot what JSX. So export function fake store error, and what it should return. It should return a simple div in that a heading saying that invalid credentials. Invalid credentials we are giving text danger, and we will create a link, and this link should navigate to so here login again. So we will say try again. Something like this we will do. It should navigate to the login. Invalid credentials I am giving. Okay, we need a path for this. In the index, we need to add a path. What is the route? Route path is what? Error. And element. Element is what? So fake store error. That is the path it should navigate. So, and now what we will do is we will go to the customer login, and here we have to write the logic. And for that, what we will do is first, we will create a constant. This is user ID, set user ID, and is equal to user ID and set user ID. Use state, it is a string type. Okay. Now what we will do is we will write a function handle ID change, and it will collect the value they are entering, and we will set user ID e dot target dot value. That means we will collect the user ID entered from the text box. That means what we will do? On change. On change is what? So on change is handle ID change. We will collect the password also. That means on change. So handle password. That means we will write a function handle password, and e set password. We haven't created any state. I will create a state for password also. Constant password set password, and is equal to use state. It is empty. Now it should set password, and set password is e dot target dot what value. Okay. Now we have another one function handle login click. This function should fire up when user clicks the login. That means on login button, what we will do? On click. Handle login click. On login click, I need to verify the password. So we will write a condition. If, what is it? If username, user ID is matching with some John underscore NIT. And what is that? Password. Password is matching with, we have a user ID password too. If password is matching with what? Some admin, or say John at the net, John at the net 123. If it is matching, then it should navigate to which one? Categories. So we need a navigate. Navigate is equal to what? Use navigate. So it should navigate. If user ID password are correct, then navigate to slash what? Categories. Otherwise, navigate to slash error. We have an error path created. It should navigate to that error. This is dynamic navigation, and this is authentication. Authentication means we are not allowing to navigate until or unless the user ID password are matched. So now, okay, let's see this now here. User enters some user ID, John underscore NIT, and wrong password entered, and click on login invalid. Now we try again. User ID is John underscore NIT. Password is John at the net 123. That is the password I given. And say login, then it should get me the categories. What is that? Some value is not coming up. Handle password, set password. Okay. Error page is okay. It should navigate to categories. Acha, cookie is not created now. So, because in categories, what we do? In categories, we are saying that only if cookie is created, then allow him to log in. What category is doing? It is pushing me back to login. Why? Because when login is successful, cookie is not created. So we need to create cookie. That is the problem. So if login is successful, before navigating, we have to create the cookie, right? That means what we need to do? Constant cookies, what it is? Set cookie and what? Remove cookie is equal to use state. And here we are expecting user ID as cookie name. Now when login is successful, before it goes to categories, what is it? Set cookie name. Cookie value, what it should be? The cookie value should be what? The value coming from username. We'll use user ID. That means the current user ID will be used as cookie. And if you want, you can keep expiry. Otherwise, it will expire after you close the browser, right? Okay, cookie ID. So cookie is created, then categories will allow. If cookie is not created, categories will not allow. Why? Because in categories, what is the logic we return? If cookie is there, then load. Otherwise, it navigate to login. Okay, now we will login. Login as. So you see, I go to home, click on categories. It will get me to login, right? I am entering John underscore NIT and John at the net 123. That is the password. Then click on login. It should get me the categories. Some problem. Use cookies. Set cookies. Yeah, it is in which page? Login page. Use state I am using. It is not use state. What it is? Use cookies. Fine. I think it is not imported. Right. Okay. Now click on this home. Then categories. Login. John underscore NIT. and John@123, then login. Some still problem is there. Let me check. If acha, password is also matching. Password. NIT password. It is not verifying. On change we haven't written a login. Handle change. Password we are accessing. So let me check whether the cookies are created or not. Application cookies. Cookie is created already. Value is undefined. That means cookie name is John NIT it is taking. That is the wrong one. What is the set cookie? Set cookie we are giving wrong. Set cookie is not user ID. Set cookie is what? It needs a cookie name. Na? Cookie name is what? User ID, and we need a value. Value is what? User ID. User ID. We are mismatching that. That means it needs to into which cookie, what value. So that is the set cookie. Okay. Now it will be fine. I will delete this cookie. Yeah. So now we will put here password, login. It should get to the categories, right? So here directly categories when I select, now it is going to access because he logged in, right? If he already logged in, then it is going to access. Now what we need to do, we need to log out. You can access all these now. We need to log out. How do we log out? We will put the password also here. That means after categories comes, in the categories, we will display that user who logged in. That means here we will keep a span. And here I will keep another span. Who logged in, his name should come. Who logged in, his name should come. That you can get by using what? Cookies. Cookies of what? User ID. That means who logged in, his name will come and it will display. Now what we will do is, so we will keep class as deflex justify content between. So it will be right side. And what we will do in the right side panel here, we will keep a button. And what is the button? Sign out. Sign out is the button. Class BTN and BTN warning. That is the sign out button we are having. When user clicks on sign out, what should happen? It should delete the cookie and go back to which page? Login. It should delete and go back to login. So what we need to do now? We have to write on click. So function handle sign out click. On sign out click, what to do? On sign out click, what to do? Delete the cookie. That means what? Remove cookie. Cookie name is what? User ID. After that, navigate. Navigate to which page? Slash what? Login. Slash login, or you can navigate to home. We can navigate to home. Anywhere we can navigate. That means now you see the button click should use handle sign out. So button on click is equal to handle sign out click. Now when I click on the sign out, it should navigate to home. You click on categories, it will ask login because you signed out already. So you entered the login, what it is, John underscore NIT password, and say login, then it says categories. So now remember, when he goes to products, again get the cookie name and show. When he goes to details, again means I need to continue this cookie everywhere. That means when user selects jewelry, then what happens? It will go to products. There also I have to collect the cookie and show. Right? That means I click on jewelry. That is not there. That means I need to maintain here also same concept we have to maintain. So what we will do, I will use this heading like concept and go to which location? Products. In products, what is the products it is showing? This is the heading it is having. So I will remove this. I will put the heading. And the heading is nothing but which category products it should display. That means the category related products. What is that? Params dot category. Params dot category will get the category name, right? So we will convert dot what to uppercase. That means here also that username will display there. And sign out and cookies are not there. Na? Here we have to implement that also. So what we need to do? So here we need to give same let what? Navigate is use navigate. And we need cookies also to create constant cookies, set cookie, another one remove cookie is equal to use cookies and cookie name. Cookie name is user ID. So we need to get the cookies and display the cookie here. And we need another button to handle. So what is it? Function handle sign out click. On handle sign out click, navigate. Navigate to which page? / home. From anywhere it should able to navigate to the home page. So, and here we have to use what? Cookies. Cookies of user ID. In this products page. Okay, now it is displaying that, and actually it is having only 2 columns. That is the reason it is very short. I will put above this. Above this, we will add. It will be fine. Now you can see back to categories. The John is still logged in. I'm selecting the products. It is still logged in. I selected any ID details, still logged in. Right? I can go to home from here and you still logged in. When you select categories, his detail will come. Until what? Until he sign out. When he sign out, it will go to the home. Now again, when I click on categories, it will ask to log in. So that means on sign out click, here we need, there also sign out click, we need to write to remove cookie. So that means here, what we have to do, we are just navigating. Here also what we have to do, remove cookie. Which cookie? User ID. Then what will happen? So you entered the user ID and you entered password, login. You go to products, details. You are watching the details. Anytime you can click sign out, it will go back. And I say categories, now login. That means anywhere it can sign out. This is a simple authentication of route. Cookies already we learned. Only the point we are using it correctly inside the route. It is very fine whether the user logged in or logged out. If logged in, then it is going to display so his details. Otherwise, it will navigate here. Dynamic navigation also working here. This is very important to implement at higher level now. So this entire example I will again upload. Same files. But this time today, we added the customer login. We added the error, and we implemented the cookies in everywhere. Right? So that user can access only when he is authorized. Currently, we are not giving any registration forms and all. Next level, we will do that. Right? Now, with this knowledge, we can build one simple project. So we can build simple project. But before going to project, now we are going to learn one more point. That is, the concept is we will learn about React MUI, Material UI. Material UI is the React bootstrap like concept. React have its buttons, React have its nav bars, just like bootstrap. We don't need to depend everything on bootstrap. React have their own library. If we know that, we can build better. But we can't completely depend on this because it is a paid service. Freely, they provide free few components. We can use them and try. And in companies, people purchase them and use them. We will see how to handle this. So how to build a UI using MUI. What is the advantage? That helps our projects to create more interactive designs. That we will see in next session. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay.